Hello, Tim Romero here, and in this tutorial we're just going to start right at the beginning. The fundamentals of using your meeting room is knowing how to log in. So on the email you received with your room details, you were issued a host password. So this is how you're going to log into your meeting room as a host, so you have access to all the presentation tools, etc. You'll note that the URL for all host logins is webmeetlive.com, this URL right here, //host login php. You might want to just bookmark that for easy access. And incidentally, I am using the Google Chrome browser, which is kind of cool because we don't have all these toolbars running down into the page and taking away presentation space. So anyway, back to it. First thing you want to do is enter your host name and your password, and I have saved my password to my clipboard, so I'm just pasting it in there. And then what you want to do is either click connect to server, or you can hit your enter key on your keyboard. And the first thing that's going to happen here is you're going to come up to your audio and video wizard test, which is really cool. This is a new feature whereby you and your guests can check their microphones and speakers and make sure they're working properly. I'm not going to read all of this to you. You can when you get to your page. It's just some helpful tips on sounding good in your meeting room. Now, if you have more than one mic on your computer, well, here is where you have the opportunity to select which mic you want to use. This one right here, I'm on a Windows 7 laptop, and this is one that's built into my system, but the quality's not so great. So I'm actually using another microphone that I've plugged in through my USB port. And then I just select the mic I want to use, going to click next, and then the next page you come to, well, this is where you test your speakers. And you can hear that music playing. That means my speakers are working correctly. And then the next page you come to, well, this is asking you to allow Flash to run. And this is where you test your mic. And you should be hearing me. I know it sounds funny. It's echoing back through. So I'm going to put this echo suppression on. I've been using that. Pretty cool function. And then we click next. As long as you can hear yourself there coming back through your speakers, then or your speakers or your headset, and that means your microphone is and your speakers are working properly. So now this is a webcam video that's built into this laptop. And there I am on video. Really, this is how to talk, how to log into your meeting room and how to adjust your mic so that you can talk. But I did want to come up on video cam for just a minute because we use what's called full duplex audio, meaning that more than one person can talk at a time. So we highly recommend that you either use a headset like this. Okay, let me get that in the screen. One with a microphone attached to it, and then you listen through the speaker part. If you would like to use a freestanding desktop microphone like what I'm using right now, then you'll want to listen through your headset like this. Now there are reasons for this. You'll just have to take my word for it for now, but if you've ever been in a meeting where we're using full duplex audio and someone's listening through their speakers and they've got their mic engaged, what it does is creates a loop, and the audio comes out of their speakers back into their microphone, and it's a god-awful noise, and you don't want to deal with that. So just take my word for it. If you're going to use a freestanding mic, don't listen through your desktop speakers. Make sure you get a headset like this or a headset with a microphone built into it. Okay, so once you've checked your microphone and webcam video, if you're going to be using that, then we come to the next page. Now this is really cool. This is a bandwidth test for upload and download speeds. We do support dial-up, satellite, wireless connections. However, we have no control over the stability of those connections, for one thing. But this is a good determination of what the different presentation tools are you might want to use. For example, if you're using bandwidth intensive tools like the video conferencing and the desktop sharing and things like that, well, you want to make sure that your upload and download speeds are pretty good. Mine are looking pretty good here. Sometimes they're much higher, but you want to make sure that you're at least up to this red line here. So mine's looking pretty good right now. Mine kind of varies. Sometimes it'll go all the way up to here, and sometimes this upload speed will go all the way up to here as well. So it's a pretty cool little upload and download test. And if you have a real slow connection, you probably want to avoid using the tools that take a lot of bandwidth, like screen sharing and video conferencing, but we'll get more into that when we get to the video conferencing tutorial. So once you've done this, you just click next, and there I am logged into the meeting room. Okay, now the first thing you probably are wondering is, oh, okay, well, how do I invite guests to my meeting room? And there are a bunch of different options, really. There's you can set up a registration, which we cover in another tutorial. You can invite people right here, where it says, oh, sorry, it's not there. It's in the meeting tools, actually, meeting room setup. You see where I click there. The very first item is invite guests. There's a couple of ways to invite people. Right here, you can just put their email address in. You can type a message to them, and then you can select how long the guest account should be valid for. 3 days, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. Now, I don't use this. I have always found that the best way to get people into your meeting room is not to put unnecessary steps in, okay? So I like to use this link right here. That basically, here I'll just show it to you, that it says once you click on that, it's been copied to my clipboard, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and open another tab here, and I'm going to paste that URL in. Now you can put this URL in an email, you can put a link to your website, you can put it on Facebook, whatever you want to do to invite people into your meeting room. And you'll notice that when the page comes up, it basically looks identical to the one we just came from, except there's no password required. So again, I'm not going to go through this because you just saw this, but basically your guests are going to go through the same process as you. Now keep in mind, if you're holding a meeting and your guests are not going to be talking or on webcam, they don't have to go through that testing process. They can skip right by it. That's just something that you know, you can either, well, actually, I'll tell you what. Let me just go ahead and log in here. And I'm already logged in as Tim Romero, so I'm just going to put Tim R. We'll go ahead and connect to the server. And as I said, unless your guests are going to be, you're going to grant them permission to use the microphone and webcam and stuff, they don't have to go through that connection test or anything like that. They can just skip right through there. And as you can see, I am now logged in right here as a guest, and here is my here's where my host panel. Oh, and this is a good example. You can see that the host account, I have all these tools up here where I can share my desktop, etc., where the guests don't. And in fact, we could hide all of these tools here from the guests completely if you want to. That's an option in your room. It's covered in another tutorial. So anyway, now that you know how to log into your room and how to invite a guest, you probably want to know how to talk so that they can hear you. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to talk, but I'm going to log out of this Tim computer so we don't get any of that looping I was talking about before. And I'm going to go ahead and click Talk Hands Free. And as you can see, I am now talking into the meeting room. Okay, so that's how you talk. That's it. You know, check your mic before you come in. When you want to talk, you click Talk Hands Free. When you don't want to be talking, I would highly recommend that, or someone else is talking, I would highly recommend that you just click that again, and then your mic turns off. So there we go. How to log in and how to talk in your meeting room. The next video, we're going to cover video conferencing and show you how the webcams work in here and everything like that. So thanks, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of us. Thanks.